Okay. So basically, we are going to talk a little bit about referencing and somewhat about referencing software. So you already know that any scientific document that we are writing, it is requires references. And that is true even for slides. Whenever we are making slides also, you have to put at least some brief reference at the bottom of the slides to give credence to what you are saying, that it is not your opinion, it is derived from some sort of data, right? So there are some referencing styles broadly. Most common one used is Vancouver style. Then you have APA and then there are some other styles also. So APA is basically American Psychiatric Association style. So as the name suggests, it is taken up only by some psychiatric journals, not even all psychiatric journals, some of the psychiatric journals. And there is an in-text reference that within the text, they will mention not as number, they will say bracket, name of the author, and then the year. And then in the reference list, you will see the reference in this particular format. So this is not relevant for us much, at least unless we are publishing in a journal which follows this kind of a pattern, in which case we are publishing something related to psychiatry. This is the Vancouver style. This is the more commonly used style, in which you can see at the bottom. This is the in-text citation. In-text citation is this number basically, which you see. This is 30. This is the in-text citation. And then in the reference list, this number 30 will be written like this, name of the authors first, and then the other details. So this is a breakup of what different parts of this Vancouver mean. So you've got the author's name up here. These are the authors. If there are too many authors, you might use at all. Now, some places it is used after 6 authors. Other places it may be used after 3 authors. Then you have the article title. This is the name of the article itself. Then the journal name. This is the journal name, Journal of National Cancer Institute. Then the year. This is the month and date. This is volume 99. In bracket, number 4 is issue. And these are the pages, 258 to 260. These are the pages. What is volume and issue? So, for example, you can see out here, this is IJEM. So the year of 2022, the volume is 26, basically. But if you look at the issue, this is first issue is issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, issue 4. So it has got 6 issues per year. So the entire year, the volume will be called number 26, and the issues will be bracket 1, bracket 2, bracket 3, bracket 4. But if you look at the page numbers, you will see the page numbers have got continuity. So it's issue 1 ends at 94, issue 2 starts from 95. So which indicates that this mentioning the issue number is not critical. Even if you don't mention issue, if you mention the volume number and you mention the page numbers, somebody can easily locate where this particular article is present. Okay. So this I'm telling you because at many places issue number is not mentioned. So then there is something called AMA style, which is a modification of the Vancouver style. But I will not get into details of what is AMA because our job here is not to go into the depth of the referencing. Broadly, what you need to understand is that Vancouver system is very broad. Vancouver system means something like I might telling you that you write prescribe ACE inhibitor. I say ACE inhibitor, but then you decide which ACE inhibitor, you decide what dose, you decide what frequency, all those things you have to decide. So Vancouver system is just a broad system that all of this is Vancouver. But just saying that it is Vancouver is not enough. I'll give you some examples. This is Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. So look at the in-text citation. This is the text, in-text citation. It is in brackets and it's in like not, this is normal script only, 38, 39 in the brackets. If you go to the reference list, you will see they've got the author name. This is the name of the article, the name of the journal. They have mentioned the date only as year. Earlier, I showed you the full format in which year, month, everything was there. Here, they only want the year. Then they have mentioned the volume and they have also mentioned the issue. And they have then mentioned the page numbers. So this is what JCM wants. This may be this is Vancouver, but JCM wants it like this. So every reference that you put in JCM should be in this format. You cannot be mentioning the date in one with month, another one you don't have the date in month, you have only year. Somewhere you're mentioning the volume, somewhere not mentioning the volume, somewhere issues there not there. That is not acceptable. It has to be exactly in this same format, and similarly for the in-text citation. The in-text citation also should be like this, inside the bracket with Arabic numerals. Now you contrast this with IJEM. This is IJEM. So IJM in-text citation is in superscript in square brackets. So this is also specific. Every journal will say we want it like this. And then you look at the reference list. So if you look at the reference list out here, author name, then after 6 you got et al. Then name of the article, name of the journal, then the year, there is only year, no month and date, then only volume, no issue. And then you got the page numbers. So the point to take home is this basically is that whenever you are submitting to any article, to any journal, you have to see what format they follow. Everybody must be doing Vancouver only, but you have to specifically which variation of Vancouver they are following. And then you have to make sure that your manuscript also fulfills each of their requirements. Consistency, you have to check that every reference got the same consistency. Okay, so this is broadly about references. Now we will come a little bit to Zotero. So I'll take you to Zotero. हाँ अच्छा हाँ करते हैं. There are several referencing software that are available. I have found Zotero to be the most useful. I don't know why it is not starting up right now. Yeah, it started up. So this is broadly Zotero. I think I'll have to minimize it for better viewing. This is Zotero interface. So on this side, you've got the library. You can have this particular box which you're seeing at the corner. I wanted to this to be recorded also, but somehow Zoom is not allowing this to be shared. Let me stop share once and then see. Yeah, now it should work. Okay, anyway, it's a little bit in the corner, but this particular is the library. Then within the library, you can have many folders. Like you can see, there is an entire list of folders out here. So let's go to this particular folder. So this is the folder, and you can label the folder whatever it is. This helps you to organize your references in a particular area so that you know where the references are lying. And then you can see individual references which are listed out there. Once I click upon any of these references, I can see some details popping up on the far corner. Okay. So, so this mentioned is a journal article. Then it will mention what is the title of this article, then name of the authors, then volume issue is there, page number is there, date is there, and journal abbreviation is there. So some of these are critical, like the journal abbreviation is critical because this is what will appear in your reference eventually. So I'll come to this later. First, let me go to Chrome. So in Chrome, you can download what is called a Zotero plugin or this out there. So this will help you import references. So let's say, let's go to PubMed and let's type out something. Let's say meal frequency. Okay, so this is a paper and I want to add this paper to my one of my folders. So let me create a new folder. I will click upon, you can't see this, I'm clicking here. Just this is the library. I'm creating a new folder here. It will ask me, sorry, it's called a collection, not a folder. So I'll name this collection as test of April. Okay. Okay, so this is a new collection, it is empty. Now I want to add this particular reference from Zotero, from PubMed, right? So I'll click upon this Zotero icon out here. It will say saving to test April at the top corner. Can you see? And PubMed entry, it is saved. Now, next, I will go back to Zotero. And now you can see this particular references appeared in my list. So at the top, you can see this particular reference has now been added. And on the far corner, you can see all the details. So it is important once when you add it, you should check once whether all the important things have come there or not. Now the trick here is that broadly when you are importing from PubMed, when you are importing from a link like this one where it is on the PubMed homepage, invariably everything is entered properly. Unless the author's name is complex, sometimes Chinese have got 4 names in one name, they have got 2 middle names or whatever it is. Sometimes it gets confused, and then you might have to manually correct that. You can go and manually correct it also. So like here, out here, I can change the name. I can go here, I can remove this name, I can correct it. Sometimes what happens, it reads the last name first and first name last. So those things you have to check once. So you can manually correct those, right? So as long as you're importing from this particular kind of a page, then it imports in a very uniform fashion. But it can also import from other places. It can import from, let's say, a PDF also. But when it imports from a PDF, the chances of errors will become more, and it will be very important. If you are importing from a PDF other source, then you have to check immediately. Otherwise, you can only check it, let's say, the final product, and then you can go back and correct it if required, right? So I've added one. I can, similarly, I can add more. Like this one. Okay. Again, I'll click upon this on the top. This particular Zotero plugin on top. It will again say saving. I can also save to other places. If I click upon this arrow, it will give me other collections also. If I want to put in a different collection, I can put there. But I want to put it here only, right? So I've got these here. Now, now let's create a Word document. Let's put in some few more so that we can have a little bit more of practice with them. Let me add this one also. Okay, and let me add this one also. Let me add one more. Right, so I've added few. So now I've got 5 or so references added out here. So now let me open a Word document. This is a Word document. Let me open a new Word document. Why can't this go down someplace? So now I'll show you how to add this reference. I'll copy paste some text from somewhere to make things a little bit easier. Let's say, let me copy paste this particular sentence. Okay. So now let's say I want to add a citation out here, right? So let's say I want to add it out here after administration. Okay, I'll go here. I go to Zotero. When you install Zotero, it will automatically download a Zotero plugin for the Microsoft Word. So that will appear on top. So if you see in Microsoft Word, there is a tab called Zotero right up here. So you click upon Zotero out here, and then on the leftmost panel, you've got an option called Add Citation. You can't see it here. Can you just shift this a little bit, maybe? Slightly towards this corner. You just turn a little bit towards that side. नहीं हो रहा, चलो उसको थोड़ा सा हो गया. हाँ ठीक है, इसको या तो थोड़ा सा मिनिमाइज कर लूं मैं, तो मे बी उससे देखने लगेगा बेटर. हाँ, मिनिमाइज करने से भी ठीक रहेगा. तो अब आपको दिख रहा होगा. तो ये ऐड साइटेशन, गो टू ऐड साइटेशन and you click add citation. The moment you will click add citation, what will happen is it will ask, Zotero will open, it will ask you which citation style you want to use. So Zotero, like I showed you different citation style for IJEM and for JCEM. Similarly, every journal has got their own style, and those styles are available on the net on Zotero platform. So some of them are preloaded on Zotero, others you can download and install onto Zotero. So already, if you can see, this got a list: AMA, Chicago Manual, Curious, Diabetes Research and Clinical Practice, DMCRR, then IJA, IJEM, JCEM, JDC, Mediterranean Journal, Modern Humanities. So a lot of journals already are there. Nature, NEGM is already there. So once you choose one of them, then it will automatically give you the same kind of in-text citation, the same kind of reference. So let's say we choose NEGM. Okay. So we say we want NEGM format. So next, once you say, this will happen on the first time. When you first open a Word document, then that Word document, it wants to know what kind of preferences you want for this particular document. Second time, it will not ask. You will understand the same thing. So once you do that, then you will be presented with this search bar. So this search bar, then you can use to identify what reference you want to put here. So you can put anything. If you remember the name of the first name of the author, you can put that here. It will still give you. If you know some of the words within that, I'll just say meal frequency. I'm saying meal and frequency. You are saying already it is showing me options below. Okay, so it's showing a list of these particular references in my library, which have got the options of meal frequency. And let's say I want to put this Bellinova et al. 2017. I will select this by my arrow and I will hit enter. So now hit enter. It's saying Bellinova 2017. Then you just once again hit enter. Now you will see there is a superscript number 1 added after administration. Zoom it in for you. Okay, can you see this number 1? This number 1, this is added now by Zotero. Similarly, now let's say I want to add another one at the end out here. Again, I will go to add citation. Again, the same thing will open up. Again, I can see meal frequency, or let's say this time I will say this time I'll let me put the name of an author. Right, the one of the author is Arnold. Okay, so I will just say Arnold. So by saying Arnold, it is showing me Arnold et al.'s paper. So this is the metabolic effects. I want this one. There are others also. So I will just select this and hit enter. This, so now got a second reference put up out here. Now let's say I want to put one here. Again, add citation. There is another way. You hit upon this small arrow in the corner. Just one moment. Let me drag it a little bit here. Let's say I want to put one here and I'll say add citation. But there's one more way. There is a small arrow out here. You click upon this arrow. So it gives you two options: keep sources cited, other is classic view. If you go to classic view, it will show you the same page which I showed you in the beginning. So now you can see the entire whatever you had put in your library, all the 4 or 5 references in one place. And if you are not sure earlier, even don't remember even the name of the article, you don't remember anything, you want to look at the list and then decide which reference I want to put. So you can pick one from the list. You will say this one. And then you will say, okay. So now the third reference has appeared there in the corner, right? Okay. Now, what if you want to put 2 references together? Then let's say this is number 1, this is number 2. In between, like here, I want to put 2 references. So I will go to add citation again, and let's say, let me take you to a classic view, and let me select these 2, Liu and Liu. And I'll say these are both Liu. So Liu and Kovari. It's picked up only one. Sorry, that's not the way. You add citation. That will not work. I think like that. You'll have to do manually. So let's say let's pick up Liu. So Liu is 1, and I want to put another one. I put a comma, and I will search now for one more. Let's say for Kovari. Okay, so now it will give me 2 references because I put a comma and I selected 2 references. And when I hit enter, you'll see now numbers 2 and 3 have popped up out there, and automatically the numbering of the reference, which was early number 2, has become number 4. So you can, shift reference at any point of time. Like you created a document, you've shown to your guide, and he has said that put one reference yahan dal do, baad mein dal do. So all that will automatically be taken care of. You don't have to go and do the whole thing, because sometimes whole one day goes just in setting up the references. You finished it and then you redoing the references, counting again and again. If you are using a software, all this can be done within seconds, not even minutes. So, and now if you want to put the reference list, you go down here and then anywhere, and then you click upon this button which says add or edit bibliography, this button on top, right? If I click upon this button, it will blink for a few moments. And did I press it? Yeah. Yes. So it just blinked for a few moments, and then it has now given me the list. Right. So this is the list which has appeared. Right. These are the references which have come. Right. Now let's say you want to change the format. You want the reference in a different format. You go to document preferences out here on top, document preferences, hit it, and then it will take you back to this list. Okay. So let's say we want UCMS journal now. We are submitting to UCMS journal. You go back, click OK, and it goes back to the journal. It will just start, reformatting those. iska the format was almost similar. Let me put a different one because this was almost identical to the NEGM. Then you will appreciate things more. Let's go to not UCMS journal. Let's go to IJEM. Let's go to IJEM then. So now it is put in IGM format. Now you can see the issue numbers have disappeared and things have accordingly changed. Isme et al nahi hai. Isme that's an error. Actually, it's not the correct format. There is no et al out here. You can see all the authors have now appearing. So, so basically you can shift when you're submitting to journals. It happens you are submitting to one journal, then you want to submit to next journal. Then you have to spend time sitting and then formatting it again. It takes only a couple of clicks. It will automatically format into a different journal. Even if you are submitting to an unknown journal, which is relatively new, I'll come to that part also. But basically, if it is already preloaded in your software, then you can very quickly shift from one to the other. So just let me go back to my slide, see if I covered everything. So I've told you about the application overview. I've told about the how to save citations. I've told you that PubMed is the preferred area, but you can this can import from different places also. It can import web pages also. If you want to cite a web page, you'll take that also for citation. So once you've created your this reference list, then it is important to read and see whether everything is okay, because software can make mistakes. Like you can see in reference number 2, authors' names are just coming as SCLT. So there was some error while it was trying to extract it from the source. And partially, probably this was because this is not from PubMed, this is from some other journal maybe, or maybe not taken from the correct source. So here you'll have to go back to the source article, then you will have to find the name of the authors, and then you can correct the name of the authors. And you can already see that it is not showing et al out here. So there is a problem with this particular format. You have to shift to a different format if you want et al. Or what you can do is not advisable, but if you are really in a hurry, you can actually do the last bit manually also. But again, the thing is not be saved. So next time when you go, it'll have more problems for you. So better that you download the format and then you do it. So you should go through this thing once and check if everything is in order. There may be some data missing. There may be some page number missing. So that particularly you have to correct. For correcting, you have to go to the main Zotero page. Like you go to this Zotero page out here. So let me, which reference was that one, which we haven't have a liu. So we got a liu. So this one. Okay. So it was showing as liu, and the first one was liu. So this is probably this one, liu. Yeah, liu. Then it was not reading these properly, right? So in Kai Deheng, it was saying as CZJ. I don't know what it was saying. There are 8 more. So what we can do, we can start deleting. For example, let's delete few authors. This is not advisable, of course, to delete authors, but just for showing, I'm giving example. So let's say I can want to put the name of the next author, and this author is Zhu and Li. And first, this is the last name, and first name is Link. Right. So now when you go back and you hit refresh, it will take a while. So this is a different article. I think this is not from here. This is not this particular reference. I think this is a different reference. Let me change this one, because that's why it's not changed. Citations. Okay. This is not the liu we wanted. Oh, this one was what we wanted, right? So you can see it has already shifted the name to Liu W and Zhu Li Ling, which we mentioned out here. So we can edit, and when you hit refresh, it will automatically draw from there. So you are correcting it for all subsequent versions also. If you manually do it, then when next time you have to again do it manually. If you go back to your source and you correct it there, then every next time you don't have to correct. So it's just a one-time effort, right? So problem is again because in-text citation also differs from journal to journal. So if you're shifting from one journal to other journal, you have to also change the numbering also. The number also you have to put the bracket and then remove the bracket. So all that is precious time lost. So why Zotero is considered to be among the best thing is because there is a Zotero style repository. So Zotero style repository, basically, this is the website, and you can search for the journal here and it will give you the format basically. So let's say we search for diabetologia. Diabetologia. Right. So one style found, diabetologia. So if you click upon it, it will say, it will ask whether you want to add. One moment. So you can click upon here and you can see what kind of format it is using, right? So in text citation, it is giving you square brackets in normal font. And then you can get the textbook format is there, then general format will be there. Yeah, the top one is the articles, then book format, then general article, everything is out there. So if you find this is what you want looking for, this is the kind of reference you're looking for, you just go and click upon this. It will say add citation to Zotero. You say okay, and then now this citation is added to your Zotero list. So now you can use this format. So similarly, you can search for others. So you any journal which if it is a even if it is a mildly famous journal, you'll find the list, the style out here. In download this to Zotero, and then you can have the same on your document also. Then let's say if you have got a journal where this is not available, then you can go to Zotero forums. So Zotero forums is basically Zotero is open access. There is no fee to be paid to download Zotero. And so anybody and everybody can use Zotero and they can create. So you can go into this forum. You can search in this forum also that I want the Zotero style for this particular journal. And it might be there in the forum, or if you can, if you have some time, you can ask somebody on the forum that I want this article. Can you make it for me? They'll make it and give it to you. A lot of benevolent people on the net. And if you are more self-reliant, then you can go to Zotero CSL editor. Zotero CSL editor. So this style, this file, which has the style, is called a CSL file. So there is a visual style CSL editor. This is for visual editor, CSL visual editor. Yeah. The CSL actually works with Mendeley also, I suppose. So this is a visual editor. So if you go to this, it will give you an example, right? It's saying that this is the citation, how the citation will look like, bracket 1 and 2. And this is the what the bibliography will look like. That is the how the reference list will come out to be. So this is the journal article. This is also one example of journal article, right? So let's say you want your citation to not have these brackets, right? So once you highlighted this one, you look at the bottom, you got this affixes, prefix, comma, suffix, comma. So you can just remove this, just go there and delete this. So now your citation will look like this, right? It will be only 1 and 2. There's no brackets, right? So this is a little more complex. So you can actually edit these bibliographies. I actually learned to do this at one point of time when I was wanted to publish in a journal which was the CSL which was not available. So basically what is this? This basically, once you click upon that, it shows you this kind of a list that from where this is drawing it up. And from there you can make changes, and accordingly you can make changes in this style also. So you can go to like name. So example, in name at the bottom, it says use etal after 6. So if your journal you want to put after 3, you can say use etal after 3. So after 3, it will start using etal. Okay. So once you have done the needful for this, then you can just go to style and you can say save style. Once you save style, it will give you an option to download the style. And this can you download, and then you open this, it will open in Zotero, and then it will be saved to Zotero basically. So minor changes, if you want to do minor alteration, you can go here and you can do that, but generally not required for most cases. Most popular journals, you can already get the CSS style out. So all this is available. You can spend a few minutes and you can get whatever style you want, and then subsequently makes things easy for you. Let me come back to my presentation and see what all we have covered. So, elsewhere. This I've shown. This again. This is again CSL style editor. You can find from here also. I showed you the style repository. I've shown you how to choose a citation style, how to create inline citation, generate bibliography, and CIFREFs document. All those have already shown me. And for getting more styles, you've got a repository, you've got a visual editor, and you've got forums. So broadly, this is about the references. I will take few more moments to talk about one more area, which is grammar. We are not native English speakers. So naturally, our grammar will not be as good as that of native English speakers. So some of us know that our grammar is not good. Even some of us who think our grammar is good, actually, our grammar is not perfect. And when you actually go and see, a lot of errors are there, even when we think that is correct in the grammar. And because most of the journals that we're publishing, they are being published by native English speakers. So a lot of time they put the comment that the grammar, there are grammatical mistakes in your document. And so that doesn't look very professional for us to be sending a publication, and it undermines the overall credibility. It's like showing up to a job interview in shorts and jeans. So it feels that you are not very serious. And of course, the Westerners are a little bit racist also. So they will take every opportunity to take a jibe at us. So we should at least do the bare minimum and make sure that these things such as references and these are optimized so that our presentation looks as professional as possible. So in that regard, one important resource that we have got is Grammarly. So there's a website called Grammarly. And I can give you this exercise. You can go home, pick up any document that you have written, and you put it's all free. You can go and upload it on the Grammarly, and it will tell you what grammatical mistakes you have made there. And you will be shocked to see that although you thought your English was good, there are several issues with your grammar. I have already signed up. I hope it will not ask me to. I have an account. Let me log in. Right. So you can go here. This is a reference. This is a editorial that I wrote with Madhu sir. And so what it will do is it will show you errors, right? So like life threatening, there's supposed to be a hyphen, which I did missed. So once you click upon it, it will correct it for you. Similarly, there is some error which is coming. Zotero quit. Zotero is the habit of quitting in between, but broadly it works. Okay, now there can be some grammatical errors, there can be some spelling errors, sometimes some comma not put correctly, some spacing issue. All those issues it will highlight on the corner. It will show you add missing verb. You should add impacted out here. It's saying to which place here. So some impacted more than others. So all these kind of things, you have to just upload your document out here, copy paste your document out here, and you then look at all the suggestions it will give on the corner, and accordingly you can make the changes. And after it's gone through Grammarly once, it will be grammatically and spelling wise it will be correct. So at least you will not get the comment that the manuscript was not grammatically correct, or there was some spelling mistakes, or there was some spacing issues. Okay. Little bit of problem there is that once you've put Zotero references in your document, then putting it here and then pasting it back there is problematic. So वो एक area है जहाँ पर problem रहता है. So eventually what a lot of time what I end up doing is that I have to manually go back and correct the language problems. Although there is the facility is here is to correct it on the go. You just have to click and it will be completely refined. But if you're putting your references later on, then it's fine. You first put your document out here, get the language in check, and then you put the references. But if you already put the references, then if you paste it here and you want to paste it back, then it probably would not work, because the referencing, correction between the reference and the link will disappear, and then you will have all kind of problems occurring. So there it will not work. So otherwise it is very useful. You can just put it through here before the final submission, and then that also gets taken care of. So that is, I think, broadly all that we have for today. That's mostly what I wanted to cover. But it's important to start using referencing software. Otherwise, precious time will be lost in this petty activity of putting this here and not. There is somehow lack of the people in other countries. It is being used left, right, and center. I don't think there's hardly even one person there who's doing manual referencing India probably computers acceptance came up late, and even now I'm seeing a lot of people, they do not using referencing software, they're still doing manually and then spending hours, and then there is some error here and there. Okay, so you have to make some effort. If you're not using, start using it, get used to this kind of software, because later on it makes life pretty easy. You cannot publish a lot of papers, or you can't do a lot of work if you manually are arranging references. Okay, any questions from anybody? Questions will come when you start using. I am open to any questions that you have later on also. If you find any difficulty in using Zotero, or you come across any difficulties, you are most welcome to come to me.
जो कई बार वेब से डायरेक्टली आते हैं, जैसे कि साइट हम वो लेते हैं, जैसे WHO का
हाँ 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 हाँ,
उसमें फिर वो रेफरेंस अच्छे से नहीं आता इसमें जो है।
हाँ वो नहीं आएगा, वो ऑब्वियसली बात है। वो फिर आपको यू हैव टू सी, आप जिस डॉक्यूमेंट से ले रहे हो, जहाँ पे आप जिस जर्नल में डाल रहे हो, अगर वहाँ कोई उन्होंने दे रखा है फॉर्मेट, उन्होंने कई बार दिया होता है, वो एमए में बता भी रखा है उन्होंने कि हमारा वेब वाला रेफरेंस ऐसे आएगा, तो वो आप उसको देख के आपको फिर वो मैनुअली उसमें एडिट करना पड़ेगा। यू कैन गो ऑलवेज गो बैक टू द जोटेरो का जो पेज दिखाया था मैंने, उसके वहां पर आप चेंज कर दोगे तो वो चेंज हो जाएगा बेसिकली। तो वो कर सकते हो, वो तो ज्यादा नहीं होते, देयर ओनली फ्यू, जनरली नॉट अ लॉट, बट दैट वर्क्स। उसमें थोड़ा सा मैनुअली एफर्ट तो करना पड़ता है। जोटेरो में थोड़ा सा काम तो करना पड़ेगा शुरू में, वंस यू क्रिएटेड द लाइब्रेरी, कुछ कुछ करेक्शंस तो वो करने पड़ेंगे, लाइक यू आर सेइंग। वो एक बार जब आप करोगे तो आंख बंद करके नहीं करना है उसको, कि आपने लगा दिया और बस फिर लाके उठा के ले गए प्रिंट करके। आफ्टर यू क्रिएटेड द रेफरेंसेस, जस्ट गो थ्रू द रेफरेंस लिस्ट, देख लो उसमें कुछ इनकंसिस्टेंसी तो नहीं है, कहीं आपने मतलब वॉल्यूम नंबर डाला ही नहीं है या जीरो है, तो वो तो खाली आएगा वहां पर, तो वो दिखेगा कि वो है। तो वो है। और मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज कंसिस्टेंसी आना चाहिए, मतलब आपके उसमें अगर कोई एरर है भी तो वो सभी में हो, मतलब कोई चीज मिस करिए तो हर जगह हो, ऐसा नहीं है एक में कुछ लिखा है एक में कैसा और लिखा है, वो बड़ा हैफजर्ड लगता है। हाँ, वो नहीं, वो से लिंक्ड होता है, मतलब जो आप स्टाइल चूज करोगे ना, जैसे आपने जेसीएम स्टाइल चूज किया तो वो साइटेशन इंडेक्स साइटेशन भी उसकी डालने लगे कर देगा ऑटोमेटिक, वो चेंज कर देगा, सारा चेंज कर देगा, मतलब वो ब्रैकेट ऊपर नीचे जैसा भी करना है वो भी कर देगा, वो भी आपको नहीं करना, कुछ भी नहीं करना है आपको रेफरेंस। ओनली आपको मेक श्योर करना है कि आपका जोटोरो में जो आपने एंटर किया वो एंट्रीज करेक्ट है, और आपने वो स्टाइल डाउनलोड कर लिया है। वो डाउनलोड स्टाइल में ये प्रॉब्लम आती है, कई स्टाइल्स बड़े पुराने हैं, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल वो हो सकता है जेसीएम का बिल्कुल पुराना स्टाइल चल रहा हो, करंट में वो स्टाइल हो सकता है नहीं हो, तो एक बार वो आप मैच जरूर करके देख लें कि जनरल वेबसाइट पे जो अभी करंटली दे रखा स्टाइल वही स्टाइल डाउनलोड कर रहे हो आपकी नहीं। वो आप कर लोगे स्टाइल करेक्ट डाउनलोड तो बिल्कुल करेक्ट आएगा, उसमें आपको कोई भी चेंज नहीं, मैनुअली कुछ नहीं करना पड़ेगा, मैनुअली करना भी नहीं है, करेंगे तो फिर वो उसका खराब हो जाता है बेसिकली, तो फिर वो नेक्स्ट जब आप करोगे तो वो तो उस टाइम पे वो चेंज नहीं कर पाएगा। तो वो सब ब्रैकेट ब्रैकेट खुद से मैनुअली कुछ नहीं लगाना, वो अपने आप लगा देगा ब्रैकेट वगैरह। थोड़ा सा वहां पर प्रॉब्लम, थोड़ा सा अगर कोई ऐसा जर्नल है जहाँ का नहीं मिला आपको सीएसएफ स्टाइल, थोड़ी सी मेहनत वहां पे लगेगी, बट वो एक बार लगेगी आपके, अगर सेव हो गया लिस्ट तो उसमें हमेशा सेव्ड रहेगा, यू कैन ऑलवेज गो टू दैट एंड इट जस्ट टेक 1 second टू शिफ्ट एवरीथिंग क्विकली। Public, when you're publishing papers, it has to be sent sometimes to multiple places, because आपका अगर पेपर थोड़ा ठीक है तो आप अच्छी जर्नल में भेजते हो पहले, फिर वहां से कई बार एक्सेप्ट नहीं होता, उनके कुछ कमेंट्स आ जाते हैं, फिर आप नेक्स्ट में भेजते हो, थर्ड में भेजते हो, देन इवेंचुअली आप फोर्थ टाइम आप डालते हो बेसिकली। सो ऑल दैट कैन बी डन वेरी क्विकली इफ दीज थिंग्स आर इन प्लेस। अदरवाइज यही है कि आपको लगता है कि चैलेंज रेफरेंसिंग करनी है बैठ के, उसकी पता नहीं कैसे बना के देना है, या फिर आप फिर बना के दोगे भी तो आपके रेफरेंस ही खराब होंगे, तो एडिटोरियल चेक में रिजेक्ट होकर आ जाता है कि रेफरेंस करेक्ट नहीं है, तो आपका वहाँ टाइम वेस्ट होता है। आप भेजोगे हफ्ते भर बाद वो देखेंगे, वापस भेज देंगे, फिर से भेजोगे फिर हफ्ता लगेगा उनको। अगर आपने पहले करेक्ट करके भेजा तो वो फर्स्ट टाइम डिसीजन आ जाएगा, अगर उनको नहीं पब्लिश करना तो बोलेंगे कि हमें तो मटेरियल पसंद नहीं है आपका। ये तो पहले इट इज चेक्ड बाय सम टेक्निकल पर्सन, द टेक्निकल पर्सन विल ओनली लुक एट कि आपके हेडिंग्स ठीक हैं, आपके रेफरेंसेस ठीक हैं, वो देख के लौटा देता है, यार ग्रामर ठीक है, वो भी ग्रामरली में रन करता होगा या कोई सॉफ्टवेयर रन करता होगा, बोलता होगा ग्रामर में गलती है, वापस कर देता होगा कि ये लोग ग्रामर गलत है आपकी, रेफरेंस गलत है आपके। तो आपने भेजा, आपका टाइम वेस्ट हुआ, फिर आप दोबारा भेजोगे फिर टाइम वेस्ट होगा, बाद में हो सकता है वो ये बोल दें कि हमारे को तो ये हमारे एरिया में आ ही नहीं रहा है, या हमें ये नॉवल ही नहीं लग रहा तो हम करेंगे ही नहीं, तो आपका वो काम 2 दिन में हो जाता, वो काम आपका 15 दिन में हो रहा है, फिर आप नेक्स्ट में भेजोगे फिर सेम साइकिल रिपीट होगा। सो प्रेशियस टाइम गेट लॉस्ट अगर आपका ये सब सब करेक्ट है, तो देन जिस चीज में अटकेगा नहीं, आपको पेपर सीधे एडिटर के पास जाएगा, एडिटर देखेगा, उसको लगेगा कि भाई ये तो कुछ पब्लिशिंग वर्थ लग रहा है, तो पीयर रिव्यू में डालेगा, नहीं लग रहा तो बोल देगा कि सर कहीं और कर लो आप, हमें नहीं करना। तो रिजेक्शन ऐसे होते हैं बेसिकली, 2 तरह से होते हैं। एक तो ये होता है कि बिना पीयर रिव्यू के रिजेक्शन हो जाता है, कि अगर उनको एडिटर को लग रहा है कि पीयर रिव्यू कराने लायक ही नहीं है, उनको बिल्कुल लग रहा है कि इसमें कुछ नॉवेल्टी है ही नहीं, या हम ऐसा पब्लिश करना ही नहीं चाहते इस तरह का पेपर, या मे बी दे आर बायस कि हम इंडिया का को पब्लिश नहीं करेंगे, वट एवर इट इज, तो वो आपका नाम पढ़ के या टाइटल पढ़ के वैसे ही बोल देंगे कि सर सॉरी वी हैव गेटिंग सो मेनी आर्टिकल्स वी कैन नॉट पब्लिश मोर आर्टिकल, तो आपको वापस मिल जाएगा पेपर, तो फिर आप नेक्स्ट में ट्राई कर सकते हो, टाइम बच गया। अगर उनको लग रहा है कि कुछ इसमें है मटेरियल तो फिर वो रिव्यू कराते हैं, रिव्यू करने के कमेंट्स के साथ रिजेक्ट करते हैं कई बार कि ये कमेंट्स आए हैं कि हमें लग रहा है कि रेक्टिफाइबल कमेंट्स नहीं है, आपके स्टडी डिजाइन में कोई प्रॉब्लम है जो कि ठीक नहीं हो सकती अब, तो देन दे विल से कि ये कमेंट्स हैं, वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू पब्लिश। और फिर कई बार होता है कि में से कि भाई आप ये एनालिसिस कर लो तो हम रिकंसिडर कर लेते हैं, तो दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स विल कम। बट मेन थिंग इज दैट इन प्रेजेंट डे एंड एज वी शुड नॉट बी स्ट्रगलिंग विद दीज इश्यूज, कि हमारे और मतलब एट दिस लेवल वी शुड नॉट बी स्ट्रगलिंग विद दिस इश्यूज आफ्टर डूइंग डीएम, बीइंग एनरोल्ड इन डीएम प्रोग्राम। तो ये छोटे छोटे चीजों में अटकने की कोई बात नहीं है, बिकॉज इट इज वेरी इजी टू डू, कुछ में है नहीं खास, जस्ट थोड़ा पता होना चाहिए कि कहाँ से करना। तो ये है, ठीक है। तो ये तो ऑनगोइंग काम है, ये तो आप कुछ ना कुछ डॉक्यूमेंट लिखोगे, थीसिस का आपका पेपर लिखोगे, कुछ और पेपर काम है उसका लिखोगे, तो सब में काम आएगा ही। जैसे जैसे प्रॉब्लम आएगी वैसे वैसे पूछ लेना अगर प्रॉब्लम आती है तो। So I have also started using it towards the late part of my DM only, because before that I was using EndNote, एक EndNote फंक्शन आता है वर्ड के अंदर। EndNote फंक्शन वर्ड में कुछ नहीं करता है, वो खाली नंबरिंग हैंडल कर लेता है बेसिकली। एक तो EndNote सॉफ्टवेयर आता है, EndNote सॉफ्टवेयर इज सिमिलर टू Zotero एंड Mendeley, बट इट्स अ पेड सॉफ्टवेयर, तो उसका पायरेटेड वर्जन मिलता है, वो मैंने ज्यादा यूज किया नहीं। एक एंड नोट फंक्शन माइक्रोसॉफ्ट के अंदर बिल्ट है वर्ड के अंदर में, उसमें वो आपको खाली 1 2 3 4 नंबरिंग कर देता है वो, तो उसमें ये रहता है कि आप नंबरिंग बदल दो, अगर कोई माइनस करके दूसरा डाल दो तो वो नंबरिंग भी ठीक कर देता है बेसिकली वो। तो उसका फंक्शन उतना ही रहता है खाली, बट वो फॉर्मेट वगैरह कुछ नहीं करता। फॉर्मेट तो आपको कॉपी पेस्ट करना पड़ेगा कि वो आपको वॉल्यूम डालना है, इशू डालना है, टाइटल डालना है, वो सब वो चेंज नहीं करता। वो खाली वो इंटेक्स साइटेशन 1 है तो 1 ये वाला है, 1 को 2 के 2 कर देगा, ऐसे करके कर देता है। तो पहले तो मैं उससे करता रहा, जब मैं मतलब एमडी में था तो मुझे बिल्कुल ही नहीं पता था, तो मैं मैनुअली करता था। जब मैं फिर एमडी का डीएम में आया तो मेरे को लगा कि भाई इस करने बैठूंगा तो मैं यही करता रह जाऊंगा, बाकी काम कब करूंगा। तो फिर मेरे को समझ में आया कि एंड नोट कर लेता हूँ, तो फिर तब एंड नोट किया। देन ग्रेजुअली आई केम टू नो कि सॉफ्टवेयर होते हैं, सॉफ्टवेयर से करना होता है। देन आई केम टू नो, तो टुवर्ड द लेट पार्ट ऑफ माय डीएम स्टार्टेड यूजिंग सॉफ्टवेयर। Subsequently I've been using for several years now post the DM, and it has definitely made life much more easy for me. I've published multiple papers in matlab sent papers very quickly without wasting time upon referencing much. तो hopefully all of you are already using or they start using, अगर नहीं भी कर रहे हैं तो you should now start। तो थोड़ा सा उसका